Hey everyone, welcome to a very exciting good e-reader review. This is Michael.
This is Peter.
We have here the second generation Amazon Kindle Oasis. This e-reader is the first one in over 8 years that's larger than 6 inches.
Yes.
That being the Kindle DX. So this is 7 inches. The screen is completely flush with the bezel. It has a resolution of 1680 by 1264 at 300 ppi, and it is waterproof with an IPX8 rating, so 5 meters of fresh water.
Other than the side here, because that's where all the circuitry is, the bezel and the actual thickness of the device is very small. Flush screen and bezel. The back is a very nice aluminum-esque backing. It's symmetrical if you hold it this way, asymmetrical this way. Power button on the top, USB on the bottom, physical page turns on the side, and a very oversensitive gyroscope that always seems to change when you don't really want it to. We'll show you this in the full comparison of these two, but for now this is the last generation Oasis.
So you can actually see how small it really is.
And you'll see that there's the circuitry on the back. This is for the pins for when you attach it to the mandatory case. Without the case, the e-reader does not last very long, and the case is included in the purchase. This is the 7-inch newest Oasis. It does not have a case.
So this is the main home screen. You see recommended for you. This is based on, purchases and things like that. This is your library, your reading lists, and if you click here, this is sort of showing you all the items, including audiobooks and samples and all that. You can sort by recent title author. All items. You can just show audiobooks if you want. We have it on all items, so it'll show our manga, our comics, everything that we've purchased, so you could sort by that if you want to. Now, in terms of the home screen, Amazon recently revised their home screen about a year or two ago. A lot of people aren't too keen on that, so you can actually change this if you wanted via the settings menu, device options, advanced options, turn that off. And then you sort of go back to the quintessential, your home screen is basically your library. You see a lot of different settings here. Reading list, Kindle Store, Audible Store, Goodreads, Free Time, which is a subscription-based program, vocabulary builder, experimental browser. It hasn't changed. In terms of the UI, you have your settings menu, which is your quick menu, airplane mode, Bluetooth, sync Kindle. So if you purchased an ebook on an app for Android, you can sync it, automatically syncs it. And this is just your quick thing, auto brightness or change the luminosity of the light. Goodreads, of course, is on all Kindles. Goodreads is a social media book discovery network. You could flag books as you're currently reading, make friends via Facebook, see what your friends are reading and things like that. So it's a good way that you can discover new books from people you actually know. And then you have the Kindle Store. So the Kindle Store is obviously beyond just ebooks these days. Comics, manga, audiobooks. I mean, there's a lot of different content here.
If you tap near the top, you get all this information here. We can click on the double A button. They've gone away with the large cascading down to the small A's. They now have the font styles. They have a new setting called bold. You can change the boldness from 1 to very bold. And the size is now located at the bottom, and it changes very, very quick. And instead of 7 levels, it now has 14 levels. And you have spacing, margins, orientation, alignment, and you have location and book and some information here. So if you click none, all of the stuff on the bottom has disappeared. So you just have a completely immersion reading experience. If you press and hold, you have highlight. You can press and hold and box a bunch of text.
Look how quick that is.
Oh yeah. We can go to note, conventional QWERTY keyboard. Nothing has changed in that regard. It's very responsive. You have a whole bunch of different keys. You can save. Top right corner does bookmarks. You can also long press and go to the More section, and you have Open Dictionary, Report Content Error.
So if you scroll like this, you can actually see like the first one was dictionary in Wikipedia. Translation. Another exciting feature about the Kindle is X-ray. A lot of people aren't familiar with what this is. X-ray is, on a Kindle at least, people, places, and things. Main characters, where they're referenced in the book, how many times that they're referenced. It's easy if you're doing book reports, but also if you're juggling many books at once. Now, it's really important to note that this plays audiobooks. And you can visit the Audible store here. And this is the first Kindle with a built-in audio store. So this is the audiobook player. You can change the speed in which it's read back. 2.75 is like chipmunk voices. Some people like doing that sort of thing. You can add a bookmark. It's the volume here. Now it's important to note that we are connected via my Beats Solo headphones. Now you cannot connect up to a phone. You can't connect up to an Android phone. Even though Bluetooth is on and you're connected to the same Wi-Fi network, for some reason the Kindle Oasis has an inability to connect to anything than wireless headphones or wireless like speakers. So how exactly do audiobooks like sound? Well, let's check it out.
John gave a headache. He twisted one hip, trying to get a bit of relief while at the same time politely facing his questioner. His attaché, Lieutenant Commander Alejandro Basilio, was looking across the wide gymnasium at the sweat-drenched recruits crashing and banging into each other.
So one of the other things that you can do with the Kindle Oasis beyond audiobooks is listen to Voice View Screen Reader. And this is an accessibility reader that worked with other Kindle models. It worked via a dongle. So this dongle would plug into the USB port, and it has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Now this dongle is incompatible with the Kindle Oasis. We tried it and it just doesn't work, at least at this time. Amazon may issue a firmware update in the future to do it. This is the 8 gigabyte Wi-Fi model. It'll hold about 35 audiobooks, which is about twice as many books as the current Paperwhite with everything in the cloud. You can buy a larger model, but this one is pretty expensive. In Canada, at least, it's like $389.
Yeah.
In the US, it's a little bit cheaper, but this is probably obviously it's the most expensive Kindle on the market. So as much as we've been raving about it, it's still going to cost you a pretty penny. So Amazon's always done a really great job with their frontlit display. I feel like they're the ones that really did the advancements on terms of having more LED lights. There's 12 in this, and it's vibrantly white. Now, it does not have the same RGB color system as the new Tolino Epos or some of the Kobo e-readers, most notably the Aura 1. Although it does have an ambient light sensor, so if you don't want to change the lighting manually, you can actually do it automatically. It actually lists what you're on. So I'm on 21 brightness, 19, 15, 11, 6, and the light will actually almost shut off completely, but Kindles have never shut off the light completely. There's always some residual light there. If you want to see something very specific with this device, just holler at us and let us know. For GoodReader.com, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everyone take care.